Hi guys, this is Kyle and welcome to the training. In this training, I will be talking about the signature products of Quartus so that you will be able to better educate your clients with regards to estate planning. In line with our motto, we as professional consultants play a very vital role in helping our clients achieve their financial freedom without boundaries. Without further ado, let's start our training. But before we move on any further, allow me to disclaim that all materials of this training are under the sole rights of LC Wealth Planner. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start with one fundamental question. Why estate planning? And surprisingly, many people do not know the importance of estate planning until it is too late. Without estate planning, the assets of the deceased may go unclaimed, like what you can see in the newspaper articles over here. 40 to 70 million assets go unclaimed at the Amana Raya. And as the professional consultant, it is your responsibility to make your clients be aware of how serious this issue is, and it is a no joke matter. Here's an unavoidable fact. When a person passes away, all his assets will be frozen. Accordingly, the estate of the deceased will be distributed according to the Distribution Act 1958, of which the family members will need to apply and go through a long process before they can access the estate of the deceased. Many thought that by leaving behind a will, everything will be solved. But little do these people know that the process can be equally complicated and painful. Let us first look at how the process will be like if the deceased did not leave behind a will, which is on my right hand side over here. The first step to take after someone in the family has passed away is that all next in lines must come together to have a meeting and decide on who's going to be the administrator. What's an administrator, you may ask? Well, this is the person who will be fully responsible to collect and assess the values of the assets of the deceased. Thereafter, there will be an appointment of two sureties who will make sure that the administrator is accountable and answerable to the estate of the deceased. Only after that, we can then apply for the letter of administration. As you can see in the slide here, it's going to take a really long time. And with that letter, only then the administrator will be able to collect the asset and advertise on newspaper to ensure that all liabilities are cleared. As you may be aware now, the first people who can claim against the estate are the creditors, as well as the Inland Revenue Board, where the taxes are. All right, so even the deceased will not be able to escape from paying their taxes. Only after that, the estate will then be distributed to the beneficiary, and it will take a really, really long time for everything to complete. Many people think that with the will, it will be much easier. Unfortunately, the answer is no. Even with the will, the asset will first be frozen regardless. Then they will check if this person has a will left behind. If yes, they will need an executor to apply for the grant of probate, which will take approximately 6 months to 3 years. Well, most commonly 6 months. And then after that, they will go through the same process as the one without the will. They will collect the asset, they will advertise on the newspaper, ensure that all taxes are cleared, all creditors are paid. Only then the estate will be distributed to the beneficiary. Well, you can see here that the process is largely the same. To reiterate, with or without will, all the assets of the deceased will still be frozen no matter what. It can be the fixed deposit, it can be their shares, their car, the building, and everything else. The only things that will not be frozen are your EPF as well as life insurance. And that is provided that they are nominees or beneficiary attached to these assets. Otherwise, everything will still be frozen and be kept with the Amana Raya left unclaimed. Now, after understanding the complication of estate distribution after someone has passed away, there must be a better option to do this, and we have the solution for you. Now, take a look at the first two columns in red. These are the processes that people will need to go through with will or without will. As you can see, there will be incurrence of legal fees, and it's going to take a long time, a lot of documents to get it done. And our solution is on the far right over here in green, in which our product will ensure that your beneficiary will receive the money or the estate and all the assets to come with it within 7 to 10 working days. And the best news of all is that there is no incurrence of any legal fees. What is this great solution? To sum up, it is all about trust planning. So what's a trust? Unlike many misconceptions, a trust is not an account. We need to get that clear. But rather, it is a legal document that holds ownership of the asset of the deceased. Individuals like me and you will be able to place our assets in trust for a variety of reasons, whatever it may be. And after the person passes away, the trust will then help distribute his or her assets to the beneficiaries without the need to go through the hectic process that I've explained earlier. A trust can skip all the process, especially during the emergency times after one's passing. And the asset in question can be in terms of properties, insurance, cash in bank, and many others. Now, to show you an example, this is a case study of how a celebrity from Hong Kong had used trust to do her estate planning. This is Anita Mui. After her passing, she is still able to take care and support her family and loved ones, such as her mother, niece and nephew, and a few close friends. Trust can do this. Trust can act on behalf of the deceased to ensure that the beneficiaries get the support and access to the assets of the deceased. Now you must be thinking, that's for a celebrity. How about people like me and you? Well, here are the 10 reasons why you or your client should start a trust right now. Now, the number one reason is trusts are private, unlike will. The location of assets is kept confidential, and all beneficiaries will be given their share without knowing what the other beneficiaries are getting. This will definitely go a long way to avoid a lot of conflicts. The second is that it allows flexible distribution. In the Distribution Act of Malaysia, you or the administrator will have to follow the allocation as per the act if they die without a will. If under a trust, you can allocate however much to the beneficiaries of your choice. Moving on to reason number 3 and number 4, the trust can also be used to pay for the children's education in addition to contributing to whatever charitable causes that the deceased believe in. And that will bring us to the next 5 and 6, of which the trust will handle all the deceased tax planning as well as dividing the assets and property to the beneficiaries accordingly. And this will actually explain step number 7, 8, and 9. Of which we will be able to eliminate all family feuds and help manage all of the deceased affairs. And with that alone, we will actually ensure that the trust or estate is resistant to contesting. Now, what do we mean by that? Is that within 5 years, all your creditors will claim against the estate so that there will be no more contesting in the future. And that's one very important part, whereby your beneficiary will actually be able to access your estate without any worry. And the last but not least, the most important reason here is that we get to avoid probate. As mentioned, this probate is going to take a really long time. Therefore, we're going to cut this process shorter for the easy access of your beneficiaries. To encapsulate all the benefits of trust planning, we have the best product here, Vitality Trust 2.0. In a nutshell, the Vitality Trust 2.0 is offered by the Perintis Amanah Berhad, which is formerly known as Infinity Trust de Berhad. The minimum placement when it comes to this product starts from 250,000 ringgit plus the multiples of 10,000 ringgit for each slot. While the tenure and the disbursement of dividend are as per the trust deed, the lock-in period is for 2 years, whereby we will be having an expected annual return rate of 10%. Fundamentally, this is how the trust will work. Firstly, the client or the settlor will need to transfer their cash in bank to the trusted account to set up the trust fund. Thereafter, it is the responsibility of the trust to manage and safeguard these assets in the interest of the client. If the client passes away, that's when this trustee, which in this case is Perintis Amana Berhad, will step in to help distribute the money and assets to the beneficiaries accordingly. At this juncture, it is important to note that Perintis Amana Berhad is actually a trustee company that is governed by the laws of Malaysia, as you can see in this long list of acts here. And these acts actually serve to regulate the responsibility of the trustee and at the same time protecting the settlor by ensuring that their trust deeds are executed strictly. When it comes to managing the trust, it is important for us to understand and communicate the duties of the trustee, as per the list over here. While all these duties are self-explanatory, I would like to particularly highlight the second bullet point at the top, to maintain at least 5% of the principal amount in liquid asset. Now, this particular duty enables the trustee to manage the cash flow of the trust, which is a very, very important thing to do. As for the other duties, you may want to pause your video right now and understand them thoroughly. After understanding the features of the Vitality Trust 2.0, your clients must be scratching their head wondering, how is Perintis Amana Berhad managing the trust fund? How is it possible that they are able to generate an annual rate of 10%? Now let's find out. In general, the trustee will invest the trust funds into the following focus sectors, as you can see in this list here. And of course, the trustee will first conduct strict due diligence to ensure that the investment decisions are sound. And that's how the trust will grow and get a 10% annual return. When it comes to managing something as important as estate planning, it is important for clients' needs to be well taken care of. On this note, here's why Quartz is our client's best choice given our top-notch services and products. Applauded and widely recognized in the finance and investment field, Quartz is a professional wealth management platform. Our principal activity is to strategize personalized financial portfolio for our clients to ensure that their financial interests are well taken care of. Needless to say, Quartz live on this ambitious vision to become the top comprehensive financial advisory platform in Malaysia. And in order to achieve this, we need to carry out the following mission statements. The first one is definitely to provide our clients with a wide range of quality financial services and products. And to do that, we will focus on educating and equipping our consultants with the highest level of competence and professionalism. And considering that it is a very long-term business, we need to cultivate a work-life balance environment so that everyone will be able to work happily and be able to protect each and everyone's financial interest. Since its establishment, Quartz has achieved many impeccable milestones and is well celebrated in the market and the financial industry. All these achievements owe to the effort of Ms. Sophia Chin, the CEO and founder of Quartz. A renowned financial expert, an author, and an inspiring business leader, Sophia is no stranger in the investment world with her impressive credentials. Under her leadership, Quartz has spearheaded numerous investment projects and is bound to create even more impressive milestones in the foreseeable future. In Sophia's team, we have our experienced general manager and business development managers to ensure the smooth operation of Quartz. Quartz has certainly gone through a long journey to become what it is today. Established in the year 2017, it was initially known as the SC Group with only 4 people in the organization. A year later, in 2019, it was then registered as the SC Wealth Planners India Berhad. And fast forward to the year 2020, this company has brought in more working capital through the government fund MyChief. And along the same time, SC Academy was established to empower and support its professional consultants with strong technical knowledge and business acumen. During the MCO period, it has successfully organized more than 200 trainings and talks, which is really, really applaudable and impressive. In the year 2021, that was when SC Group was rebranded to become what we know as today, Quartz. To date, in 2022, we house more than 700 professional consultants handling all the quality professional services and products. In Quarters, we take pride in what we do, which is to provide financial solutions to our clients. In the following slides, I will be introducing Quarters investment portfolio. First up is the Malaysian Genomic Resource Center, MGRC, which is in the business of genome sequencing and analysis as well as genetic screening. Quarters is the substantial shareholder of this business. In addition to MGRC, Quarters is also the substantial shareholder of EconFrame. The aim of this project is to help it grow in the industry. Moving on to the next significant corporate milestone, Quarters has also successfully collaborated with Kejuruteraan Asastra Berhad to help raise 100 million ringgit for their expansion plan. This collaboration has attracted various media attention, thus bringing Quarters to greater heights. The most recent achievement is this collaboration with the Auspac Group and IP with Sdn Bhd. Most certainly, Quarters will be looking at even more exciting investment in the near future to further illuminate its success. In addition to providing financial solutions to our clients, Quarters is also involved in the investments of IPOs. Through these projects, we help organizations complete their IPO process, thereby achieving their success. Here are some of the organizations that Quarters has been working with. Herein, we have Grab that aims to be listed on NASDAQ on the 2nd of December. Other companies include Neptune Asia, Revenue Monster, WeDoctor, and Smart Rental. In Quarters, we strive to build this wealth management ecosystem for our clients to ensure the sustainability of their financial success. As presented in this chart, Quarters houses various businesses for its many successful portfolios. For estate planning, we are looking at Perintis Amanah Berhad. Our commitment to provide the best services and products is irrefutable. Herein, we adhere to the following 4 pillars to derive the best value for our clients: asset protection, accumulation, distribution, and wellness. Now that we have understood the product as well as the trustee, it's time for us to reiterate the features of Vitality Trust. As you can see in this list here, 10% return per annum. There's a minimum setup fee of 250,000 ringgit, initial lock-in period of 2 years, renewable annually after 2 years, and the trust funds are safeguarded and managed by Perintis Amanah Berhad. Needless to say, all good things will come with certain terms. Herein, I would like to highlight Vitality Trust lock-in period. As you can see in this table here, from the 1st till the 6th month, there will be no withdrawal allowed. However, should the client wish to terminate or withdraw the trust, it is allowed on condition from the 7th month onwards. If you refer to this table, deduction and administrative charges are applicable. Should a client terminate or withdraw between the 7th and the 12th month, there will be a 20% deduction in addition to 3% of administrative charges from the principal. And should the client wish to terminate between the 13th to the 24th month, there will be a 15% deduction and 3% of administrative charges from the principal. In the following slides, I would like to highlight some of the important terms and conditions that must be brought to the attention of our clients. The first one is clause 1.5 over here. It is important that the clients be notified that there are terms and conditions when it comes to premature withdrawal and termination. As explained in the earlier slide, there will be deductions and administrative charges applicable. The next important clause that we need to look into is clause 3.1. in which it requires the consultant to mention that the trustee shall take full responsibility to safeguard the assets equivalent to the principal amount. And in addition to that, the trustee shall also be collateral with a net valuation that is equivalent to the principal amount or more to satisfy any deficit in the trust fund. Moving on is clause 3.2 and 3.3. To maintain at least 5% of the principal amount in liquid assets. As explained in the earlier slide, this is for the trustee to manage the cash flow. All right, and moving on, the trustee accepts and undertakes the mandate of trust, exercised as the executor of the principal amount to invest in part or in whole. And the last but not least, to always be available and shall achieve at least a return of 10% per annum on the principal amount. Now, this is made possible through the activities of Quartus as explained in the earlier slides. Here's the last clause that is worthy of attention, 7.1.1, in which the consultant should highlight to the client that this trust may be renewed or extended for a further period from the date of its expiry upon the receipt of a written notice. And that's all the terms and conditions that you must highlight to the client. At Quartus, we build your future and the future of your clients because we have your financial interests at heart. On that note, I would like to reiterate the importance of asset management, which is to safeguard the financial security of our loved ones. As tomorrow may never come, it is important that we start planning today. Hence, I would like to urge everyone to take actions today by contacting the consultants of Quartus, because in Quartus, we build your future.